We are back with another
We're back.
episode. Last time we kind of forgot to introduce ourselves right at the start.
That's true. I was going to say we should have done this last week,
we
but we
should've-
need some proper introductions.
Yeah, I'll let you start.
Well,
You're off the bat.
oh my God. Hi, I'm Steph. I am a stay-at-home mom who hisses like a lizard at her own phone when it rings. And that's about it.
Not just about it. You do a lot of awesome art.
I do. I am a digital artist.
Look at all that stuff behind you there. You can actually see the new Hobbit print there.
I don't dare move the tablet.
I was gonna say it's there. It's like
carefully.
you guys can see it online, but
yeah, I've done a couple commissions, done a couple fun things, but I cross stitch, I draw, digital artist, and I know Travis because I drew him.
Yep.
And I drew him because of his guest spot on the Friendship Onion, which is podcast by Billy Boyd and Dom Monahan. Oh my God, that's
Wait, does it go this way?
That's your very own hand map. No, it's the other way. There you go.
This way, upside down. Yeah. I just haven't gotten a frame yet for it. So, at some point I'll find a spot over here. The wall goes up way higher, so I'll have a lot more room, but you just might not see it.
So the hand map, I never intended it to become a thing, but now a significant chunk of my life is drawing weekly illustrations for the Friendship Onion podcast. And that's how I met Travis. I'd actually been to Weird once before, and I saw you there, but I didn't know you.
We didn't quite have.
But I do remember seeing you there. Yeah. But I met you because I drew you, and then we came out to visit, and that was really fun.
Yeah, no, and and then we kind of just hopped in the Discord land of things and chatting online, and I started hopping into your live streams of the weekly drawing.
I watched you streaming Zelda.
Yeah, we're doing really Link to the Past right now, which is it's a struggle half the time, but
it's fun.
Yeah, so I'm Travis, also located kind of in the Oregon area, and have a business called Weird Leatherworks and Meadery. We do like handmade leather goods where we make mead. Lots of different artists, always trying to support as many artists and crafters as we can. So throughout this podcast, you'll probably hear the reference to weird pop up. That means, there's a lot of weird things out there, but but that is usually in reference to the business, whole medieval fantasy themed tavern hall place.
It's incredible. Everybody should come out to Portland and go visit Weird because it's really, really cool.
Well, thank you, But like Steph was mentioning, I've known Billy for a few years, and we kind of we got our mead to be like featured on the podcast, and then it was originally intended to be just a like, oh, they're gonna drink it and taste it and stuff, and I was just gonna watch, I'm gonna be like, yeah, like this is awesome, But then they invited me to be a guest on the podcast as an actual like a chatting guest, which was even cooler, So
very, very cool.
So yeah, throughout those connections, we kind of just we were chatting, and Avatar is one of my all-time favorite series. And Steph has never seen Avatar, so we were like, okay,
yeah.
Like
Travis found out I had never watched it, and I swear it was about 5 days between the suggestion of, hey, that might be a fun idea for a podcast, and recording our first episode. And the only reason that I'm really able to do this is because you didn't give me any time to think about it. I don't know if I would have agreed to it if I had time to think about it.
We can think about it. Like, should we just do 2 episodes and then from there?
We're done.
That was a quick series.
No.
But no,
I'm in this now.
The intent of the Cabbage Fellowship is to be just a fun kind of weekly or bi-weekly, depending on our schedules and stuff, and just hang out and chat and talk about this series, but also about art and supporting artists, and just kind of like a calm, like chill, kind of like one-on-one hangout session, you know.
We have hot leaf juice.
We do have hot leaf juice
for relaxing.
My mug is Calcifer.
Oh my gosh.
And if anybody's watching this on YouTube, it's there's a manatee in there, and the manatee,
oh my god,
is actually holding the tea itself in a little steeper thing. So you put the tea in the manatee, and it steeps the tea.
That's a pun.
It's a pun.
I suppose I have to allow it.
But I was like, Appa's kind of like a manatee in a way, so ish. He's a flying bison, but it's close. It's his sea brother.
Now I feel like I need some cute novelty mugs. I have this one.
Oh, you'll definitely see.
Cool.
That's such a cool mug. Like,
it is really cool. It's like ceramic.
I was gonna say ceramic and like cast. Yeah. It looks like cast iron in a way. We have a bunch of really cool looking like tankards and mugs and stuff at Weird.
I want a tankard.
And it's like,
can you drink tea from a tankard? Is that allowed?
You can drink tea out of whatever you want, right? Who's stopping us?
Need one. I need one.
But you'll see, I'll probably have like every week it'll be like a different mug. Like I got so many Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I mean, this is Miyazaki, fun mugs. Avatar. Like,
need mugs.
We need mugs. That's what we should make merch wise. I didn't even think about that. Cabbage Fellowship mugs. I want one.
I want a Cabbage Fellowship mug.
If we're the only people who end up having these mugs, that's fine by me. I want.
That's special.
I know. I would love a Cabbage Fellowship mug, and it would.
We're gonna make that happen.
We'll make it happen.
And if you want a Cabbage Fellowship mug, just stay tuned. I guess.
Stay tuned. Let us know. And we'll make it happen. But I mean, look at the cool art there. That Steph did for us, the whole Cabbage Fellowship logo.
Okay, this is really funny. Travis made us a Gmail account, but you need to put in a first and last name to register the Gmail account.
It won't let you progress.
So you put, for the first name, Steph and Travis, all one word, and then the last name was Cabbage.
Cabbage. So it's the podcast,
So our friend Kara, who does all our social media stuff, and she's amazing, and I promised I'd give her a shout out as often as possible because I love her. Hi, Kara.
Hello.
And she's like, "Oh, look, you're the Cabbages," and I said, "I have the best idea for a logo." It took me about 30 minutes, and there you go.
Which, by the way, like, there's already a lot of people commenting on the art. Like the Cabbage Fellowship art itself.
You like the logo?
Yeah, Michaela, who voices Toph in the show, loves it.
Don't know who that is, but
we haven't got there yet. But shout out to my friend Michaela. Awesome person. Down to earth. Get it? Earth, because she's an earthbender.
I didn't get that pun.
But
thank you for explaining the pun to me.
For anybody listening out there, that was an earth pun. But no, it was really awesome.
Hates puns.
And Steph hates puns. But there's going to be a lot of puns probably.
God.
But Michaela is an awesome friend. A pretty long time supporter now of Weird. Has gotten our mead bottles. Kind of met through the Avatar community of people that I know. So there's a lot of awesome people out there.
Can I just say, I need to have it on record that Travis here is at a level of talented and cool where I feel like I shouldn't be talking to him.
Why?
I feel like I'm breaking some kind of rule.
No,
I don't know.
No. No.
Yes.
I just know people and talk to people. That's about it.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so shout out to Michaela for this episode. Got Kara and Michaela. And I'll give Bridget a shout out too. Bridget's a good friend of mine, and she loved your art too.
Hey, Bridget. Thank
Bridget
you.
is part of like the Honor Society, or was. I think Honor Society is still going. I can't remember what they were talking about.
What is that?
It's Dante Bosco and Bridget kind of did a collab thing, and they were doing like
Another
a
celebrity
Twitch
that
channel.
Travis knows.
But
hi, Dante.
yeah, Dante, if you're listening to this, you should definitely come on here with us. Let's get everybody. Let's get Dante. Let's get Michaela, Greg, Olivia. Like, we'll get you guys
Let's
all
get
on
Steph
here.
an aneurysm. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
No, but like they're just, everybody that I kind of know, they're just super nice people. Really, really down to earth, really down to earth people.
It's a me thing.
But yeah, just people I've met through like my connections with Weird and my love for the series, and it's just super cool that these people are kind of like nerds like us that love their work. And you'll see as we go along that the Avatar community is like, I mean, it's like up there with like Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and stuff like that. The amount of people that love this show that don't quite know about it is still pretty crazy. Like, I mean, it's been out since I think 2006.
Yeah.
Been a while. And then Legend of Korra came out in like 2013, 14 area of things. And we talked about it on the last episode, but the whole new Avatar Studios thing that's coming out. So there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff happening. But
a lot of content, and I've seen none of it.
and so the fact that I can go through this whole show with somebody who's never seen Avatar I'm excited for.
I'm excited. There's a lot to see.
We have I think since the last episode, we have a link tree. We have a TikTok. We have a Facebook. We have an Instagram. We have a Twitter. We have an email, and we have a YouTube channel.
That's a lot.
And like over half of that is Kara, like doing all this amazing stuff for it. Like, so I set up a couple of things. And
she volunteered for this.
But so I set up a couple of those things, but it's super awesome. So thank you for putting together that stuff for us. And I think we're going to be getting some like highlight reels, like kind of like how the Friendship Onion fans page on Instagram does.
Which
like
Kara runs.
Which she runs, yeah. So like coming up this week on the Friendship Onion or the Cabbage Fellowship. But yeah, so what type of tea are you drinking?
This is something, a box I pulled out of the back of the cabinet.
Yeah.
It's called Fireside Vanilla Spice. What that comprises, I don't quite know, but it's hot leaf juice.
Hot leaf juice. Have you tasted it yet? Like, does it taste like vanilla?
It tastes like hot leaf juice. It tastes like hot water. I don't know. It's nice. I mean, hot drink.
Yeah. I think what we need to do is we need to go to like an actual tea shop. And
that sounds fun.
And I know a couple of them kind of near me too. Cloud Pine in downtown Milwaukee and Enthea Tea House over in Selwood. But there's like hundreds of types of teas, which can be overwhelming. But the good thing about that is we can find you a tea that is for you. Like there's a flavor out there that is not going to just taste like hot leaf juice.
I dare you. Your challenge is to find me a tea that I genuinely enjoy.
We're going to find Steph a tea that is up her alley. So I'm drinking, gosh, what did I just take a photo of it because it's downstairs. I picked up this bag from Cloud Pine Tea in downtown Milwaukee because my friend runs it.
It's just, he knows all these cool people.
I'm drinking.
I know Travis. Travis is like the coolest person I know.
I'm drinking Union Golden Tips. It's superb black tea with sweet cocoa aroma. Elegant downy gold tips. Temperature you should be drinking it at is 210 degrees plus, and the brew time is 30.
Specific temperature?
Oh yeah, like there's a whole thing. Like if we go to like a tea shop, like the way they do these, like, so I went to her shop, right, at Cloud Pine Tea, and we did like this tea ceremony, And I mean, they have the boards, they have the cups, and you do like you'll pour your water through the tea first and get the wash out of it. Like so you do like a quick little rinse of the tea and then you steep your tea leaves. And the correct like there's certain times to get the best flavors to come out of it. So you have to like steep it. I mean, what we're doing here, mine's just been steeping in this for like 10 minutes now, so it's probably totally different than what this thing is telling me on the bag.
I tossed a bag into some hot water.
I do that all the time. That's totally good. But like the brew time is 30 seconds according to my little thing
what?
here on. Like you steep it for 30 seconds and you pull the tea out, drink it, and then you steep it again. Like there's so many different things. There's so many, and every tea is its own different thing too. So
that just sounds like way more effort than I'm willing to put into.
Well, that's why you let the professionals take care of that. So we go to the shop and we do the thing, and they'll prepare it for you the way it's supposed to be like prepared.
Right.
Home stuff is totally different. It's like, how much time do I have, you know?
Yep. Oh crap, we're recording in 15 minutes. Here's some hot water.
Here's some hot water, yeah.
And honey, we have like real fresh honey that my husband got from a client. Yeah, it's really good.
Excellent.
So there's a little hint of honey in there.
I put honey in my tea a lot too. What type of honey is it though?
No, it's in an unlabeled jar.
Yeah, it's probably like a wildflower or something. Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, because like with the mead side, you know, there's so many different types of honey, and every type of honey makes the mead taste totally different. So every type of you could do like buckwheat, you know, fireweed, clover, orange blossom. I mean, it just goes forever, like on the list of honeys as well.
Really cool though.
Anyways, I like this. I like our little intro where we just kind of chat and talk about how things are and how you've been this week and what we've been up to. But I'm ready to dive into the notes.
Absolutely. I took very nice notes.
Excellent. I got mine up on a notepad in my phone.
I posted mine in the Discord.
Yeah, we have a Discord, people. That was the other one that I forgot.
You have a Discord?
I forgot. I was like listing all the things. I'm like, I feel like I'm forgetting one, you know?
We have a Discord, and you can come hang out.
Come hang out with us.
We're there.
Yeah. Like Steph was just saying, we have a notes section. The notes section is like where you can post you follow along with us and you watch the episodes like kind of as we're going. You can hop into our Discord, you can post your notes for that week. Or
give us some talking points.
Anything really, whatever your favorite animal, your favorite quote, your favorite moment from that episode, like.
But no spoilers.
No spoilers ahead.
Kill you. I've been so careful. Like this show has not even blipped my radar in years and years and years. And all of a sudden I'm like seeing references to it everywhere, and I'm being really, really careful.
You're just like,
I don't want to be spoiled.
Like the story plot wise, I can understand. Like, you know, like it's the story of this whole entire arc of everything that's happening here, like book 1, book 2, and book 3. It's you definitely don't want to get spoiled on.
No.
But you can oh man, that's you. That's you that popped in there. I was gonna say, man, we got 2 people with really long lists in this Discord that we have to talk about and our 2 things, but I was like, wait, one of those is you.
Click and Tuna, because that's as good as my name now. I answer to Click and Tuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna copy mine while we're recording.
There you go.
I'm gonna go like this, and boom, I'm gonna post it in there too.
Oh look, one new message.
Yeah. My notes are very, very short, very kind of to the point and stuff, but we do have a lot of talking. We got a lot of talking points in here, so.
But I noticed both of us have in our notes "yip yip" in all caps.
Yip. Yeah, we got the. So let's just. I mean, there's not really any order because we're just talking about the episode in general, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about episode 2, The Avatar returns.
Yeah.
This is the second episode in book 1, Water. And yeah, we got the first yip yip of the entire series, and you will find out.
Me and all 3 of my kids going yip yip at the screen.
Yeah. So it's yip yip is definitely a reoccurring. It's the way that I guess it's the way that the Airbenders control the sky bison. Like, I don't think there's any other words that makes them fly. And I think
I'm a big fan of the yip yip.
I think they just kind of ran with it even into Legend of Korra too. So
really?
I know that's kind of a little bit of a spoiler, but like I mean,
that yip yip is still a thing.
Yip yip is still a thing, yeah. So you can kind of look forward to that just being a reoccurring thing on there.
Yeah, I got my kids to watch with me this week.
Excellent.
Because they're on Christmas break now, so I can't really watch it without them. So I said, hey, I'm doing this thing. You guys want to watch with me? Mm-hmm. They're all really annoyed that we're only doing 1 episode a week.
Well, I was going to say, well, you could put it on for them, but then you risk them blabbering about it.
Can't do it. I said, I'm sorry. This is our schedule, and we cannot watch ahead ever.
We can't watch ahead. But
it'll be fine.
But put it this way, it's a good bonding moment with your kids as well, and it's a constant thing for the next. Did I say what was the time? Like 52 episodes or something for
that's
just
a whole year
for this one thing.
52 weeks is a year.
Yeah, so I mean, if everything goes well, we'll be doing this constantly, and that's just something you can look forward to with your kids as well. You know, being like,
yeah, this is it's a thing we do now.
It's a good mother-child kind of bonding moment. And how old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
Good. I have a son who's 10 and my daughters are 7 and 6.
Okay. So yeah, definitely in that age range of like, and they've never watched Avatar?
Mm-mm.
Okay, cool. So they're all going to grow up with this series that is also like made for kids and stuff. And they're going to remember this as like a really good time with their mom, watching this show. And a lot of kids grew up with this show too. Because when it first came out, 2006, there was kids at that time watching it. So it's kind of like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings and stuff, people grow up with these shows and then they show it to their kids and they show it to their kids and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so I introduce my kids to all of my favorite nerdy things. I read them all of my favorite books, and we're planning a Lord of the Rings marathon after Christmas.
Excellent.
They love the movies, yeah.
That's so cool. Excellent.
What else do we? Okay. My first note.
So I was gonna say, so where do we start? Besides, I think we should always start with yip yip. Like, let's go. Like, we're hopping into our notes.
Let's do it. That's introducing the episode discussion.
Here we go.
Let's go. Okay, my first note is that Sokka was totally right. I'm sorry. I know Katara likes Aang, but Sokka was very right that Aang was reckless, and it did put the tribe in danger.
Yep. It's
and she doesn't really have a right to deny that because it's objectively true.
It definitely ended up coming true. It's I'm trying to look at some of Kara's notes here too. Did I post that in my? No, I just kind of went with Gran. So yeah, Sokka was definitely right, and Gran was like, I'm sorry, Katara, but I'm going with Sokka, right? Like, this is, we have to look out.
Not
for our
unfair. It's not unfair.
So we have to go with the current person who was put in charge of our village. We're looking out for our people. We're looking out, and I think that mindset kind of comes from, there's kind of two different mindsets happening here. Aang, who, when he disappeared, there wasn't any real war. There wasn't there wasn't all these conflicting things with like political stuff between like Fire Nation and Earth and Water and the Air Nomads and stuff like that. So,
yeah, he said he had friends among the Fire Nation.
Yeah, exactly. So like to him, he's just like, well, why would this be dangerous? You know, even if it's a
He doesn't understand the danger.
If
Yeah.
it's a Fire Nation ship, it's like, okay, like
So
that's
what?
cool. It's just
Hey
it's
guys,
just like somebody crashed. Like, let's go check it out. You know. So when I was kind of watching that, I kind of noticed that too. Like putting my mind in the two different mindsets of each person. So like, you know, from their point of view, it's like, yes, we're looking out for this because we grew up with the Fire Nation trying to kill us, you know, or trying to destroy our village and destroy our homes and stuff like that.
Are we ever given a clear reason why? Because the introduction just says until the Fire Nation attacked, and they've been continuing this war for 100 years.
Yep. There's
are they trying to exterminate the others? I mean, what's going on here?
I can't answer that yet because that'll be a spoiler.
Okay.
There is a whole bunch
I guess they're not, though.
There's a whole
They can't be trying to exterminate.
Yeah.
Because Zuko definitely sailed off without further bothering the Water Tribe.
Right. It's more of like, I think like a conquest kind of thing. They want to be in control of the world, I guess. But I don't want to answer too much about that because it would
all right
spoilers. But then putting yourself in the mindset of Aang, who literally like 24 hours ago woke up and is like, okay, this is weird. They're talking about Fire Nation, but that can't be true. Like, you know, I mean, maybe they had one bad experience. They're like, maybe they had one bad experience with one firebender or something, you know. But like as the whole, you know, so there's two different mindsets that I definitely picked up on there. But
I don't blame him for not understanding the scope of this.
Right, yeah.
However, that doesn't negate the result of his actions. The results
of the actions, yeah. And I thought it was kind of funny that Gran, like 10 minutes later, immediately like was like, okay, like, you know what? You know, you should go to learn water bending, and here's a pack, you know, like have fun on your trip, you know,
have fun storming the castle.
Yeah. Have fun storming the castle. And then so I was just kind of like, I'm like, well, that was a really, really fast turn. Does she just have
got rid of two troublesome teenagers?
Yeah, I was like, is she just like all fine and dandy with it a minute later? But you know, Aang did kind of sacrifice himself in a way.
He did.
He was just like, and he said, I mean, all the village was like right there too. So he's like, you know, if I go with you, are you going to leave these people alone? And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. And then they walked away. So that might have been like a turning point for Gran being like, oh, okay, right. So maybe he's not so bad after all, you know, like
I don't think she ever thought he was bad. It just seems like
just a not their problem kind of thing, you know? Like it's just kind of potentially bringing more.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah. You're just going to bring more trouble to our village and we're already struggling.
Yeah. But I think she also recognizes destiny when she sees it.
Right.
Okay, guys, off you go. Good luck.
And she definitely cares about her grandkids and her granddaughter. And yeah, there's a lot more back history that I don't want to spoil, but there will be some more stuff coming.
All right.
I noticed that there was a very like villain intro, like coming into the village. It was
my gosh, shot where Sokka's standing on the ice wall and the giant Fire Navy ship appears out of the mist.
Let me just hit this with my stick.
That was really cool.
But then like the way the ramp comes down.
And he fell on his ass, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Sokka.
The way the ramp came down though was very, and then the way like Zuko's like, I mean, we met Zuko last episode, but like his like introduction into this was to me kind of Vader like. You know, he's like rolling in,
coming down the walkway,
flanked
by his minions,
by stormtroopers, you know, or
essentially.
Whatever. But and those masks, they kind of looked very Samurai Jack to me.
They did.
If you ever remember, do you remember that show?
Oh yeah,
Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Samurai Jack: Greg, who voices Uncle Iroh in the later seasons, he also voices Aku in Samurai Jack. So, well, I think
Another cool person Travis
later.
is.
I don't know. Did Mako? So Mako is the first voice actor of Iroh, which is happening right now with us.
Yes.
And I cannot remember if Mako is. I can't remember if Mako also voices Aku. But I can tell you that in just a quick second. Yeah. Greg Baldwin. He was. Okay, cool. So Mako voiced Aku in Samurai Jack, the evil, kind of looks like the Zuko's people here. And he voices Uncle Iroh. Now, Mako passed away, so they had to get another voice actor coming in, and that's when Greg Baldwin hopped in. And Greg Baldwin was able to do a really, really awesome Uncle Iroh voice. Sounds nearly identical to Mako.
Oh, good.
And he also picked up the mantle of Aku on Samurai Jack as well, because
that is really cool.
Because he sounds so much like Mako. And when I've talked to Greg about his work, he's actually worked with Mako way back in the day on like earlier stuff. I'm talking I think it was like the 70s or something like that, 80s, somewhere around there. But if you haven't gotten a chance to listen to the Weird Crafts Chit Chat episode that I did with Greg Baldwin, it's another podcast that I kind of have that we don't have very many episodes. It's just kind of free time talking with cool artists and stuff, people who do rad things. And but when I was talking to Greg, he was telling me about having Mako. He's like, I'm not trying to be Mako. I'm not trying to replace Mako. I'm just trying to give homage to Mako. And so
it's gotta be tough.
It's hard. Yeah, he was telling me that his when he went into the studio, he was doing the voice actor stuff, and Mako's widow or wife was there, and she was facing the other way, listening to Greg do this voice, and she was like, "It sounds like he's there behind me," And I'm just like, "Oh man, that's like super sad," but like that's super. I mean, having somebody who actually cares about preserving his memory and preserving his work and giving homage like that is just super cool. Anyways,
that's really
side note about Uncle Iroh and Mako, and we got on that Samurai Jack tangent, so yeah. Do you have any? What's your next note? Thing you got up?
I said Sokka is dumb but very brave, he was, because he was the only one running at them with a weapon, the only one standing up to defend the village, and that was very brave of him.
Besides the one little kid that I think is going to be a good warrior. Show no fear.
Yeah.
Throws the staff.
Tiny badass.
Mm-hmm.
I was also impressed with Zuko, because as I wrote down, he showed a surprising amount of restraint, because I think he could have absolutely whipped Sokka's ass.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't. He didn't. And then he kept his end of the bargain with Aang, and he took him on the ship and actually left and did nothing else to the Water Tribe. And that impressed me.
Yeah.
I did not expect that from him.
So right from the bat, we're getting kind of a conflicting like Zuko, how he feels about what he actually cares about. He, we in the last episode we got, he I think we got in the first episode we got the honor reference. That was the first one. Yeah, he's like, I need to. So all he cares about at this point in time is restoring his honor. At this point in time we don't quite know what that is. But
yeah, he said that his honor is riding on this search.
Like this is why he can. That's why I think they said set. What do you say? Like, send a message to my father. We're going home, or something like that, or some. What do you say?
Right. He said that like Aang's little glider would be. He couldn't wait to present that to his father. And one of my notes is, I wonder what kind of person Zuko's father is.
Yeah. Yep.
Seems like the kind of guy who might have dad issues.
Yep. Oh yeah, there's a lot of references to Zuko and is it Zuko, Luke Skywalker, and Faramir, all with the dad issues,
Ooh.
like all of the dad issues, like. So keep that in mind as we're going.
Fundamentally good people with shithead dads.
Kinda, yeah. I mean, don't want to,
All right, yeah.
We'll steer too far. We don't want to go too far into that. But there's definitely the bad dad crowd.
Aw.
Just want to mention again, Dante Bosco, Zuko voice actor. He's given off.
Dante Bosco.
He's given off real. Even in episode 2, it's just like, I feel like, especially with shows and voice acting, and like half your show hangs on whether or not the voice is good, because your animation can be good, but if your voices aren't, it's not going to hold up that well,
Right.
It has to really, like, the amount of emotion that you're putting into these lines and stuff like that, and right off the bat, like, I feel like Dante's just doing an awesome job at just throwing in,
I agree,
giving Zuko that kind of appearance,
Yes, there's a lot of emotion in his voice.
Considering it was one of his first voice acting gigs. I think his first one was the person in the crowd in a Goofy movie.
Was it a Goofy movie? I didn't even know that.
There's a scene in a Goofy movie where there's I think her name's Steph. Is it Steph? She's on the stage.
Steph?
And then maybe it's Stephanie. Talk to me. Ooh, he's in the crowd, like, yelling this to this person up on stage. She's like the little nerd girl on the stage or whatever, and then they kind of shoo her off the stage, and then they bring up whatever. But yeah.
I'm going to watch that again just for him.
Whoever is in a Goofy movie, something with the stage, I think, like a nerdy girl with glasses on the front, and then there's a guy in the crowd yelling, talk to me,
Nerdy girl with glasses. Yeah. I used to wear glasses.
Yeah, so
okay, you have to tell me, what is the past tense of bending? Because I have in my notes, hang water bent. What would it be?
Water bending. Bending is in the process of doing.
But you could say yesterday, ang water
bent.
Fire
bent. Yeah.
Water bended?
Yeah, I think bent, like with the T on there.
Water bent.
I think he water bent yesterday and fire bent yesterday, last week.
Noted. I'm writing that down. I noticed that the Fire Navy ships are made out of metal.
Yeah.
Because they're firebenders. Yep. Metal won't burn. I liked that. Thought that was a nice touch.
Heat things up pretty well. And I loved, which I never quite caught before, but I love when Zuko was, like, kind of angry and the snow landed on him, and it just, like, speaking of restraint, like you were saying, holding back and stuff, the snow landed on him and it just melted, and he fire bent. He fire bent. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do it from here on out. And the snow just melted off, and very, very subtle, and kind of steamed up a little bit, and then he continued talking, and I was just like, oh, that's cool. I never noticed that little bit before,
It's an interesting character.
Yeah. Jack, and then just the speaking of, like, the yip stuff, the go, fly, soar, ascend.
My kids and I are all like, yip.
Like, it's just like, what's the word that he was saying? I love the comedic relief that Sokka provides to the show. Like, there's just, there's the serious people, there's
everyone else is very serious.
Yeah, it's just like, what do you say? Like, I'm just a guy with a boomerang. I didn't ask for all this flying and magic. Like, so
I feel that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, going off of a note from last week too, you asked if Aang knew if he was the Avatar.
He
And
does.
he does know that he's the
I
Avatar.
wrote that. Yep. I said,
Yep.
oh, he does know he's the Avatar, which explains. I noticed on my second watch through of episode 1 with my kids to get them caught up for episode 2, I noticed that after Katara asked Aang about the old Avatar, no, he said, no, I knew people who knew him, but I didn't know him. And she goes, oh, and she turns away, and then Aang gets a really funny look on his face.
Yeah.
And I didn't notice that the first time through, but I did this time, and that makes sense because he knows that it's him.
He knows he's the Avatar. He's the next Avatar.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I made that little point of note there. I'm like, oh no, he said last time, he didn't know. And you were asking about that last time, and I couldn't I didn't want to give anything away. So, but
right.
Aang definitely knew that he was the Avatar, or is what is. And
I mean,
was,
he is.
because we're talking about
and was
and because we're talking about the last episode too. Yeah, so, and then there's, Uncle Iroh just sleeping through the whole episode, half the episode. And
he and Zuko did do that really cool, like, synchronized fireball into the air. That was cool.
The sync bending. Bending? Yeah. Now you're gonna have me questioning it every time I say it. The synchronized stuff is always super cool. It happens a few times, really, I think, throughout the series and kind of in Korra and stuff, but it's just I love it when people are bending together and doing that. Still shows that Aang is pretty courteous to others. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. Like, I know you're trying to sleep here, and meanwhile, you're trying to take me hostage. Sorry. But like, sorry."
One of my favorite moments of the episode is when he finally makes it up to, like, the bridge where the helmsman is at, and Aang just runs through the room, just bursts through the window, and the helmsman just stands there and just kind of watches them go. Like, this is not my job. This I'm at the wheel.
I don't get paid enough for this, Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny, and you can tell Iroh is definitely compared to everybody else, he's just kind of like along for the ride, and at this point we're kind of like, why is he there? Why is he with Zuko? What's going on here?
Just to keep an eye on Zuko, because Zuko's kind of a loose cannon.
Yeah, so, but he's just like, Zuko's like, take this to my room or whatever, it'll be an excellent gift. And he's like, hey, would you mind taking this to his room for him? Like, just passes it off, Kind of reminds me of like Pirates of the Caribbean when they're like, guard the boat, and then guard the boat, guard the boat. It just keeps getting passed down the line.
Something nobody really wants to do.
Yeah, they're just like, Yeah, you made a note of the thanks. Hi, Aang. Thanks for coming as well.
That callback was very cute. I like that. Yeah. I also like the poking with a stick callback.
Yeah.
I did. I laughed loud at that.
And penguin sledding it was useful. Like, he kind of burst in. But clearly,
fine.
In a way, I think. Did Kara make note of that?
Yes, she did.
Yeah, penguin sledding has this.
Steph, look. Yeah.
There's a lot of weird skills that come into play in this show. Like, a lot of the a lot of things like that have like cross uses. Kind of reminds me of
penguin sledding.
Well, yeah.
Is there more penguin sledding?
There's not. Once we leave, I think they left at the end of this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they flew off. There's not really any more penguin sledding. Okay. But the dual uses, it kind of reminds me of like Mr. Miyagi in a way, where it's just like wax on, wax off. Like, you're like, okay, why are we doing this? You've seen Karate Kid, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay, cool. I was like, make that reference. I love Karate Kid. I love Cobra Kai. I love the whole new show that they're doing and stuff. It's awesome. But I guess Mr. Miyagi and Iroh definitely have a lot in common.
Very similar vibes.
Very similar vibes. But Yeah, I'm just taking a look at some of these other notes in here. Uncle T Guy slept through the whole episode. Um, what is happening when Aang goes all glowy? Is he in some way channeling the past avatars?
I mean, it seems like that he's like activating his avatar power, because that's when he water bent.
Yep.
Was when he got all glowy and the.
Yep. So even though Aang can't really do this yet, when he's in that state, the episode's called "The Avatar Returns." So we're established that Aang is the Avatar. He has these powers, but he hasn't quite. And like I think Katara, somebody said, was it Katara or somebody says, I think in this episode, that like you got to master all four.
Yes, and there's a specific order in which he has to do that.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's like a specific order. I think that was just at the time.
She seemed very specific. At first, you have to do water, then earth, then fire.
Then fire. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's been a minute since I watched the show, and I don't want to give anything away, but I think there was a couple of notes to that as to why you learn all of these kind of at once, or like you learn them in that order.
You said the Avatar himself is incarnated as a different
every time
element every time, and does not have anything to do with the order in which the Avatar has to learn these things.
Probably, yeah, because it's like, you know, so Aang is oh no, there are some notes about that. So Aang is air. So the you know, and it's water, earth, fire, air, water, earth, fire, air. So if you were an earthbender, your next one would be fire. Like that would be the first one I think that you would learn. But I think there was like some slight nods, and when we're watching the show, like just keep an eye out, because it's kind of quick little things, but it's like, you know, why we're learning water before earth, why we're learning earth before fire, that kind of thing, because I think there's different things that you kind of got to know before trying these different elements. Obviously, if you're not the Avatar, this doesn't apply to you, but if you're just an earthbender or whatever. But yeah, so I think that is something that we will find out a little bit more. He does do water bending, but it's not quite Aang at the point in time, because he kind of like slumped down. He was like, what happened? You know, what was happening?
Yeah.
You know, so,
it looked like this other power possessed him for a moment.
And we saw that state. We saw him in that kind of, in that way in the first episode when he was in the
he made the air bubble, or
when he was still in. So it was like that was like preserving him for like 100 years. But it wasn't quite Aang. So yeah. So
now what was? Is it a? Don't tell me if it's a spoiler. But was that intentional? Was the preservation for a long time intentional? Or was that just an accidental side effect of the power that saved his life in that moment?
I think it's more like a, like you said, like accidental. Like it's if you kind of notice, like in the first episode, he went down in a storm and was like going to die. So like I think the Avatar like state. I think that's what it's called. Maybe, but that. The Avatar power that's inside him is preserving him. You know, like it put him in an ice ball because it was like, we're not
save his life.
We're not gonna die, you know. And then in this mode right here, you know, he got knocked in the water again. And then it was like, oh, you're about to drown again. Like, you know, let's go water bend your way up and out, you know. Or at least this time it didn't freeze him, and another 100 years passes.
Nice.
It's like, all right, welcome to the next show. We saw these people for 2 seconds.
The end.
The end. But yeah, so we'll find out more about the past avatars and the glowing state of Aang. At probably another time in this book, I think it's this one.
All right.
And throughout the whole show. But
good.
We have animal mashups being mentioned. Hog monkeys. What was hog monkeys?
No, they mentioned something hopping llamas.
Bunny llama.
What's that? Do we ever see them?
Was that what Aang was like? But first we have to go here, 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 and here.
Yes.
Like we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this. You know, so he's all about the
I'm assuming they don't get to do the fun stuff. They got
fun stuff.
Yeah, they got to go learn how to bend.
It seems like he doesn't quite know like everything that's at stake right now. So he's just like, man, I've been asleep for like 100 years. I want to go do all of these fun things, you know, that I used to do all the time or whatever.
Like the first thing he said to Katara when he was unfrozen was, "Can we go penguin sledding?"
Right.
But she was like, "Sure."
Like, I guess. Like, you know, because he's not really from like that area, so he's like, "Oh, I'm in the Water Tribe area. Like, I want to go do this." You know, it's like doing your favorite fun things whenever you're traveling or whatever. But I think Aang is going to get a pretty good like wake up call once he like finally realizes like, okay, 100 years have passed. Like, there's like all of this stuff going down. Like, we can't just go penguin sledding, you know. Like, we can't just go have fun everywhere. Yeah.
I say, lukewarm leaf juice is less nice than hot leaf juice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you know, there's iced tea. You can have iced teas, but that's specifically.
This is neither. Yeah,
it's not iced tea. Yeah. What else do you have on? Do you have any other things in your notes?
I think that's pretty much it, except that I was yelling "yip yip" at the television. Oh yeah, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it during his escape from the Fire Navy shipmen.
Yeah.
People, when he was doing all these amazing dashes through the halls and running along the ceiling and everything and evading them, but then it cuts to a real close up of him, and he's just panting and terrified because, yeah, like he said, he had friends among the Fire Nation. All of a sudden, he's a captive, and they've taken his things, and he doesn't know what they're going to do to him. And
what's happening?
Yeah, it was a nice reminder that he's only 12 years old, and he has all these incredible powers, but still a kid.
Right. And then
I wonder if it will be a different experience for me watching this for the first time as an adult, as a mom, as opposed to watching it for the first time as a kid or a teenager.
There's definitely, I feel like, a lot of points that you're going to catch on to, and like with like genocide and slight racism and just like stuff like that are like all like real world, like kind of adult kind of stuff that you might not catch on as like a kid. You'd be like, yes, Fire Nation, right, bad, they're trying to kill everybody, you know. but there's a lot of like politics and stuff in the show and in Legend of Korra too, that you definitely catch as an adult watching this show.
Interesting. If my kids ever bring up any interesting points that I didn't notice, I will
bring on their notes. You know, like we'll address it.
My 7-year-old, she already asked if she could come and tell everyone how much she is enjoying the show.
Yeah, if it's okay with the parent, you know, she can pop in and say hi and say.
He would fucking love that.
Favorite animal? What's the favorite animal? You know, we can arrange some questions and stuff. And,
yeah, she'd love it.
What they're like.
She's the little social butterfly that I have never been.
So next week it's just gonna be me and Steph's daughter talking about the animals and the penguins and like that type of stuff.
I'll be back here drinking hot leaf juice.
Yep. Yeah, so I think I mean that might be it for my notes.
We've covered the main points.
The evasive fighting techniques. So I mentioned it in the first episode, but we see it again kind of here in this episode. And basically what happens is it's you kind of mentioned Aang kind of dipping in and out and like going up the walls and all that kind of stuff. And then when we're in Zuko's chamber, they're fighting and stuff. But if you noticed, Aang's fighting style is definitely like Air Nomad Monk style, to where he is not fighting to harm or hurt.
Right.
He's fighting in like self-preservation. But he did kind of like make him go like up against the ceiling, slam Zuko up there, But I think that's pretty again, mellow.
Not unfair.
It's pretty mellow compared to what everything that's being angled at him,
Yes.
And I think that was more of like a comedy kind of thing that the creators were trying to establish there,
He's just trying to get out of there. He's not trying to hurt anyone.
But for a blip, for a quick second, we saw Aang airbend a ball underneath him. And kind of rides this ball kind of like up the wall and kind of around it for like a quick little second. And
that was cool.
So keep that in mind as we watch the show later on, because there's a cool backstory for that, for this ball airbending thing.
Airball.
And I think I'm not going to spoil anything, because I'm trying to remember if what I would say would be officially canon, like in the show, or if it's like some of the back history that I read. So I'm gonna go check on this afterwards, and if it's just something that I read in like as like additional fun fact kind of land thing that is never like actually brought up in the show, then I might mention it.
Okay, because I've already pledged to kill anyone who spoils.
Yeah.
So because I'm already supposed to kill you.
Yeah.
So I guess go ahead.
But so I just wanted to keep that on people's radar. If you're listening to us or you're watching us on YouTube or whatever, ball airbending technique. That's a
traveling airball is what I wrote down.
Traveling airball. It's it's definitely a good thing to keep on your radar, because it's a really cool thing. But like I said, I just can't remember if it was like from the books. I've read some of the comics, I've read some of the books, I've read a lot of the wikis and stuff like that of like back history kind of stuff. So I can't quite remember if it was like from the show or if it's just something that it's like reading the appendices in the Lord of the Rings, where it's like
I love the appendices.
Yeah, it's like so now you're trying to remember. You're like, was that actually in the story, or was that just something?
Is that in the main text, or is that
like a
random trivia that I read in
that
Appendix
C, that I know off my head now, and now I'm kind of like, crap, did this actually happen in the book? Like I do that with Harry Potter in the movies, the books and the movies, because I grew up reading the series, and
I hate the movies.
Yeah, the books and the movies, but the thing is now, because I've seen them so much, both book and movies, things blend together, and I can't remember. I'm like, did Ginny do this did that happen in the movie, or was that the book? We talked about it a little bit on the Harry Potter podcast, Shell Cottage, that I was on as a guest recently, and it was kind of the same. It was kind of the same, like a similar point where it was just like we were talking about that being a thing. We're like, crap, there's 20 years of Harry Potter at this point, and now we can't remember if like was that a book thing? Was that a movie thing? Like, I don't know at this point. But yeah, so keep an eye on the airbending ball thing.
Traveling airball.
Yep. And yeah, I think that might might do it for episode 2.
Yeah,
Kind
that's
of
good.
all the points and stuff that I've brought up. Additional reminder for folks, if you want to provide us with things to bring up during our episodes, hop into our Discord. The link will be kind of everywhere. If it's on YouTube, it should be in the comments down below. If you're listening to this on like Podbean or Google or anything like that, find one of our social media pages for the Cabbage Fellowship, and somewhere in there will be a link that will take you to our Discord page. Come in.
Or you could ask us directly.
Yeah, we're on Instagram and Facebook, and we're all over the place. But you should be able to message any of the social media pages and ask for, hey, what's the Discord link? Because I want to hop into this episode note land things, and somebody will reply to you. And we will get that back up.
Yeah, it's fun. Come hang out.
Yeah, come. What was I gonna say? The episode 3 next week is called The Southern Air Temple. So,
ooh,
nice little homage to where we might be going next week. We're currently flying through the sky on the back of Appa, and yip. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you guys all next week for the Southern Air Temple.
Woo! Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.
Lukewarm now, so I'm not going to drink it.
Lukewarm.